Hello everybody, welcome to Crowdfunding Countdown, where we're going to take a look at every single board game campaign, finishing up in the next week. We are going to get into the week in just a second, but first we have a word from our sponsor of the episode, zerocool. Zerocool has a message that they want to transmit to the world, and so I guess we'll just run the tape. Chris George has been lying to you, a self-proclaimed actor. I'm an actor. I'm an actor. He's been acting this whole time, and these game nights that Chris claims to host, when the dice are down, he's nowhere to be found. He calls himself a gamer, says it's core to his being, when really the only core he knows is being a core dancer for Disney's The Little Mermaid. Or is he lying about that as well?
Did you hear what almost happened?
What's your favorite board game?
Oh, me? I hate board games. I've just been acting this whole time. No!
Forget top games list. There's only one list Chris cares to be a part of. Or as this concerned viewer says,
So, what's your favorite board game?
Oh, me? I hate board games. I've just been acting this whole time. Oh no!
Hide your kids. Hide your board games. Hide from Chris George. This is a man who's been twisting the minds of our youth for years, poisoning them against us and board games. Chris George, actor, faker, cheat. It's time to let him know you can't shuffle your way out of the truth.
All good. Thank you very much for that. I'll put them in repairs tonight.
Perfect.
I hate board games. Oh no!
Stop Chris George. Stop Room and Board. Stop watching right now. Paid for by Citizens for Real Board Gamers Against Undersea Deception. So that was... I don't know. Okay. No, those clips that you saw, those weren't that I can explain. Those are different. Those are different clips. That wasn't me. I was acting. No, that's not. Oh no. Please, I can explain. Maybe next week I'll put out an apology video. But for this week, we got to get into the week. So I guess I want to thank zerocool for legitimately sponsoring the channel to make that ad. That was actually sponsored. zerocool did pay me money, so I had to legally put that up. But I'm sure it was fake. I'm sure that was the fake thing. I just don't know how they got that footage, and I have to run it. I have to run. My producer's saying that I have to run it. At least I got paid. Okay, let's get into the week. Huge shout out to zerocool. This quote right here, challenge accepted. I'd like an attack ad on Chris George's acting please. So hopefully zerocool, hopefully you feel like you got your money's worth. And if you didn't, let me know. Okay, let's get into the week. We've got a decently large week this week, but not a lot of things of note. Really only one that I already know it's too expensive, blah, 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 too much shipping, you know the drill. But we're still going to go through all of these and figure it out for ourselves. And starting with this one, STACCS, a mind-bending 3D matching and stacking card game, designed in 2 dimensions and played in 3. You'll leave flat thinking behind. I'm very intrigued by this. Stackery? Okay, I'm already in. Wow. Yeah, it really is mind-bending. That's a really cool visual with these are just cards, just as like little cube shapes. I mean, it's just kind of like Crazy Eights, right? Like that's what it is. It's Crazy Eights, but you're stacking in different directions. So you can always put like hearts on hearts. You can put numbers on numbers and stack things outwards, and you put face cards on face cards. And so it's like dominoes. It's like a dominoes Crazy Eight style game where you have to get rid of your hand. I guess a little Quirkle-esque, but the whole point is just to get rid of your hand instead of scoring points for every card that you play. So you're kind of resigned to, hey, are there cards there? No, I'm gonna have to draw a thing. It's just a new way to play Crazy Eights, but in a very interesting visual for sure. It's $25, 35 Canadian, And then shipping, do they have shipping estimate? Estimate $15 to $22 for each one. So like again, $50 for this small deck of cards of Crazy Eights. Still looks fine, it looks interesting, and I think visually this is really appealing. And then there's an Uno mechanism at the end where you have to say, uh-oh, at the end. Spiders are still here. Very unique. Definitely visually super unique. $50 for this card game seems absolutely absurd to me. But hey, definitely really unique and cool to look at. So if you're interested, that finishes Wednesday, July 30th at 11 a.m. Moving on to this one, Margin Call. A very small game, Margin Call the game, a stock market style game. Let's see what it's like. I don't have much hope for this, but we'll see. It's always fun looking at things. You know what's a really good way to get you to understand what's going on? Putting it into a really screeching, high-pitched Gilbert Gottfried voice. That's going to make people really retain the information of your game.
Welcome to the stock market. Let me tell you about high-level economic breakdowns. Sell off your stuff before the market crashes.
It's worse than The Whisperer. We can at least agree on that. This might be the worst video I've ever seen. This is singularly the worst video I've ever seen on Kickstarter. And I've seen over 3,000 campaigns. And this is the worst one. Sorry, Anthony Quach, you made a bad choice. It's a card shedding game where you're going to get a bunch of cards and you're going to put them and sell them. And the first person to sell enough cards wins. How much are you? $18, 25 Canadian, and then shipping. Oh, wait, that was a previous one. So it's $20 and no information about shipping. Insane. Oh, here we go. Okay. At least there's shipping. Shipping costs vary by location. We'll calculate it later. You don't have to worry about it. We'll figure it out later. We'll ship it to you later. How much is it going to be? We're not going to tell you. This is singularly one of the worst campaigns I've ever seen in my life. So congratulations, Margin Call. You get that award. That's Wednesday, July 30th. Okay, we're moving on to this one. You can see what I mean when I said we definitely have quantity over quality this week. But you know what? I like hanging out with you, so I appreciate you being here. We have this one, Web of Life, a solo game of food chain building, a solo card game of ecosystem building connecting nature's predator-prey relationship. Only £9. So that's not. In Web of Life, you take on the role of an ecosystem builder, placing species, cards, to form scientifically accurate predator-prey connections and build a complete natural system.
And Jesus wept, for there were no more worlds to conquer.
Starting from fungi and plants, starting from me and plants, because I'm a fun guy. You'll get it later. You'll introduce herbivores, predators, and eventually apex carnivores, all within the spatial and strategic limits of the growing ecosystem. Okay, this is shipping. I want more information. This is a card level. Great. Each card has a divine level and a unique effect that can influence the deck. Look at the top 3 cards of your deck and rearrange them in any order. Okay, so whenever you play it, you get to take that effect. I don't know how we're placing these. Do I just have to intuit it? Look, yes, okay, so that makes sense. That a 1 needs to be beside it. A 2 can need a 1, a 3 can need a 2, a 4 can need a 3, right? You're building it out in that capacity. The 3 is there, the 4 is there, and then you're building this out, I guess, in a separate capacity because it's a 1 and a 2 over on that side. Not quite sure how you score points. Not quite sure what the point is. But the concept seems fine, and for only, £9, although £9 is expensive, right? How much is it? 17 Canadian. 1 physical copy and a digital print and play as well, and then you can ship it to the US for $5, Canada for $14, right? So for me, it's $31 for this game, which they don't actually tell me how to win or how to play. So not really that convinced. Maybe if you did tell people completely how to play, you might actually get some more backers. It seems fine. You're putting 1s on 2s, 2s on 3s. You have a hand of 3 cards. Each one will have a different effect. There's actually a lot of potential here from what I can surmise. But I want to look under the hood a little bit more. Not talking about AI or somebody's mad. I don't know. Let's move on to this one, the Coil, a tabletop game where you will lead your race and expand your boundaries while completing secret objectives. I like secrets. You know what? Everybody, tell me your deepest, darkest secrets in the comment. I'm sure I won't use it in an attack ad against you. I just shouldn't bring it up. I'll need to do a full apology video. Oh, I'll have to do a full apology video. Your troops are represented by dice, which you deploy to defend your homeland or conquer regions. The amount that each region will score is kept hidden from other players until the end of the game. Victory points will also be awarded to players for collecting valuable resources and fulfilling a secret objective. After 4 rounds, the player with the most victory points will take the throne as the Emperor of the Coil. Okay, how to play. Place the 4-sided northern die in the center of the table. Take the 14 homeland cards for your nation. Take the unit die for your nation's color. Okay, I feel like they're doing a good job of breaking down whatever they can with the limited communication that they have. Oh no, this rulebook's better. I should have just clicked on that first. I see. So each one of these cards is going to have region resource symbols, and then you're fighting over these resources, and then those resources will be worth points at the end. Okay, you can pool dice in between rounds. You're going to be accruing dice onto your own player mat, and then you're going to be putting them out onto these regions. Whoever has the highest dice there at the end is going to win that region, and then you're going to get those resources. You can only win a region from somebody is if you place a dice with 1 more pip, exactly 1, so 4 can only be beaten by a 5, which makes the rolling of dice, a little bit flexible. You'll all roll the dice and you'll see what people have, then you'll add new dice to the thing. There was one thing in the breakdown where it said, anytime that a player can say stop and just like it ends after everybody's placed 1 dice. But I feel like that's an everybody must pass thing would make more sense, giving 1 person complete control. Because then it's just, did that 1 person have a good roll? Great, they're going to keep going. If not, then they're not. Oh, cool. I like this. I like this as well. The northern die has a 1. There's 4 rounds, right? So the northern die is a 1, so you get to take 1 action on the first round, 2 actions on the second round, 3 actions on the third round. I think that's what it's going to be. Oh, on your turn, deploy 1 or more of your dice, moving it from your reserves to the lowest available deployment slot in any region. You can use tactics from your hand to adjust the values of the dice. That's what the additional top slot is for. Oh no, yeah. After each player has had at least 1 turn, when it's your turn again, you may, if you wish, take no action and say stop. If you ever begin a turn with no dice in your reserves, you must stop. The battle phase ends immediately when a player uses their turn to stop. So 1 player controls the whole thing. And then that to me is like, okay, well, if I'm first player, I'm going to put 1 dice out, see what everybody else does, and then I can choose if I want to stop or beat it all, right? So maybe there's a flow of everybody just puts 1 dice. Maybe the tension there is that anyone can call stop. Sure. That's I think an important rule, a very important rule to the feel of the game. It's that 1 person has all the power and has all the decision space to make. Feels like it'll be fairly easy to suss out when somebody should stop and when somebody shouldn't. I don't think I'm a big fan of the battle phase. I think it's going to end up being a little bit boring, but might be okay. Hey, and it's only $28 for this game. That's actually a really reasonable price. Of course, to Canada, it almost doubles after you pay for shipping, so $52. But sure, $52 for this little dice game. I don't know. I'm not sold by it. I don't really like the stop aspect of the power that somebody has. I'm trying to visualize it right now, and I'm good at visualizing because I'm an actor. I just think what's the game-breaking strategy, right? I'm going first. I can put out as many dice as I want. I'll look around the table and I'll see who doesn't have the dice that's 1 pip above mine. If it's everybody, great. If I've rolled 3 1s and nobody's rolled 2s, I can just put out all of my 1s, right? And just win. So that's inherently a flaw. I guess there are tactics cards to shift things around. That's the whole reason why there are tactics cards, forcing people to do tactics. Sure, I make you play your tactics cards. You turn your 3s into 2s. I can't beat it anymore because I don't have the tactics cards. So maybe I shouldn't have played the 1s. Maybe I should have played 3s because I also had 5s so that eventually could come around and meet me back where I'm at. Or I want to get all your tactics cards out of your hands. I sacrifice my dice for the first one. I do all my 1s. You play all your tactics cards, yada, yada. Or I see the chain of people that you will fight in. Or I hope that I put out 2 1s and then leave 2 other things to be fought over. Let people fight over those 2 other things, and then when it gets back around to me, I have 2 things. 1 person is 1, 1 person is 1, 1 person is none. Then it obviously behooves me to say stop, and so I stop, right? And I feel like that's how the flow is going to go. Like that's the decision space, and I just don't know if that decision space is going to keep me coming back, really. But yeah, that's how I try to think about these things, right? Like that's how I envision playing a game. Is I just try to play everybody's turn and with fake results, with all results, and what are the best results and what are the worst results, and are there any worst results to get, right? Like those are the sorts of things that I try to envision, again, because I'm an actor and I'm good at make-believe. That finishes Thursday, July 31st at 10:22 a.m. We're not covering this Strattegee, 0 chance, 0 dice, and 0 chance of us getting coverage on it, because again, it did the $1 pre-pledge. So if you want to vote with your wallets, make sure that you never back this. It was nice. I got a message from the Homestead Hyperjump people, and they were like, oh yeah, sorry, we didn't know about your $1 pre-pledge. Although, to be fair, we never said we were a fan of your channel. I was like, you know what? That's fair. There aren't many people who could say that. And they also said, I just got a response from them as I'm filming this, they also said that they got a few messages from people who looked into the campaign, thought it looked cool, and said, unfortunately, I cannot back because of the $1 pre-pledge, and they have committed to never doing it again. And so it just sort of shows that, like, when you express with your voices, it works. So we're moving on to this one. Tabletop Inc. Crowdfunding Revolution. This is the expansion for Tabletop Inc. Now with the Crowdfunding Revolution expansion, you can launch your games through crowdfunding campaigns for powerful bonuses and prestige. Invest in marketing, upgrade your staff with unique new abilities, outsmart your rivals, and race to become the most successful publisher in the business, packed with charm, strategy, and tongue-in-cheek humor. Tabletop Inc. is a love letter to the board gaming industry, except for Hans and Gluck, and this expansion takes it to the next level. I backed Tabletop Inc. I own Tabletop Inc. I haven't yet played it, and I was really trying to... Wine! I think that's funny. I was really trying to... Gill size, beak size, wingspan and fin span. That's funny. Pandemic? Oh, it's great. It's so funny. Anyway, I backed this as an impulse, screw you, Hans and Gluck back. And I don't regret it. And I was very excited I wanted to bring it with me on contract, but I just didn't have enough room in the car. And so it got left behind. But I'm excited to get back to Toronto and excited to get this to the table when I do. That being said, I'm not purchasing this. Like, I know I'm not getting this because, again, I haven't played the base game. And for all those people, like, tabletop campaigns, crowdfunding campaigns, they often launch right as things have been delivered. Right? They want to make sure that they've delivered on their promises. They've been cooking up an expansion. They launch it to show, oh, we're doing this new thing in case people are excited about receiving their games or other people are bummed and see the excitement of people opening new acquisitions. Then they want to capitalize on that. And oftentimes, you serial backers, it's very easy to say, oh, yes, I need the expansion, or I played this once and I want the expansion. I don't think that's the time to get the expansion, right? For me, that's never a time to get an expansion because I need to play a game, I don't know, at least 5 times, at least 10 times before I even contemplate if an expansion is going to be good for me. And then even still, I need to contemplate if that expansion is easily incorporatable. That's a word. I know words. I'm an actor. So yeah, I'm not really interested in getting this. I think the additional deluxifications are very funny, and I was very tempted. I personally just got the base price, the base game, the Tabletop Inc. base game. I opened it. I didn't punch it out yet. The components look nice, look completely fine, but I am interested in seeing what it adds. So Tabletop Inc., what is it? It's a worker placement game, essentially. It's just a worker placement game which is themed around building board games. So you're trying to get components for your board games, you're trying to play test your board games. Like that's the theme. It's a very, very fun theme. I'm happy I anger backed it. You hire people to test your game out. You build your dream game with these silly little boxes, which you can then place on a calyx if you wanted to go all deluxified. And I get it. Like, I do understand that. I certainly didn't get the mini furniture, but I understand people who would want it. Now we have the marketing mechanism. Oh, the crowdfunding. I mean, you have to market things, right? You have to get the word out. Crowdfunding, secure funding, and unlock powerful benefits before your game even hits the shelves. Worker upgrades. Train your team for specialized role, gain powerful new abilities. A neoprene mat. The marketing mat slots neatly into the game board, adding even more depth to the gameplay. 10 new boxes. So many boxes. Cool. So what this looks like a fun expansion to me, even just with what it's being put forward as, right? But what it tells me is that I don't need it. It tells me I don't need it. It tells me that if you're interested in Tabletop Inc., you don't need to get the full package either. You should just get the base game because it's another one thing that adds more complicated mechanisms in. And when you're first picking up a game, you don't want to have every single mechanism under the sun. You don't. You just want to have the ones that make it whole. The theming here is out of this world, you know? The theming here is the reason you will enjoy this game. Mechanically, this game will probably end up being like a, 7, 8, right? 3.5, 4. That's the range in which I can see this game existing at, just based around what I know. Simple worker placement, but I think the theme, if you're a big board game lover, that's why I got it. And because I was mad that they had to change it from Meeple Inc. to Tabletop Inc. But Tabletop Inc. is growing on me, so I like that. And if you want to get all these wooden easels and a mini board game shelf and some metal trophies, you can. I'm excited to play it. I did get it, and I don't back a lot of things, and I wouldn't have backed it if I didn't think it was going to be a good game as well. Like, I wouldn't have just backed it because I was mad. It depends on the day, but probably not. Like, I'm cheap enough that was the thing that set me over the edge, and I thought, you know what? It was on my top 30 of the year of memorable campaigns from the year. I always do that at the end of the year. I go through the list and I try to think about what were the campaigns that stood out to me. This is going to be a low year, I think. There aren't that many that really stood out to me, but maybe not. We'll find out at the end, right? The things that still live in my brain, things that I still think about, the picks of the week where it wasn't just like, I have to pick something, but the real ones. Oh, good one. Good highlight, Ruel. The prediction mechanism. When returning your workers in Tabletop Inc., players can secretly predict what actions they think their opponents will take. Will they go heavy on components, focus on mechanisms, play it safe by gathering resources? If your predictions are accurate, you'll earn extra victory points, so it pays to observe the rivals closely and think like a publisher. It's a clever mini bluffing game within the game that rewards insight, timing, and a little bit of risk-taking. Love that. It also has no negative effects on those having predictions made against them, making the game high in player interaction, but with zero negative take that sale play. Yeah, but if you're making predictions against me, I'll do a suboptimal play for sure. It just looks fun, but I will let you all know once I play it. Like, I probably won't do a full review on it unless there's a lot of people clamoring for it because I spent my hard-earned money, or unless I really, really love it, unless I have something to say. But generally, when I buy a game for myself, I buy it for myself. I don't buy it to do work on. I buy it to play and have fun, and then I'll talk about it on a list or some sort, but I won't do a designated review unless I love it and I want everybody to know about it. In that case I will. Anyway, if you're interested, that finishes on July 31st at 12:05 p.m. Again, if you are getting it, we didn't even talk about the price. You don't need this ultimate pledge, right? You don't need the deluxe, though you probably want it. You just get the base game. There are 46 people who haven't done it, and then there are 472 people who are just jumping in for the new expansion, who I hope have played the game enough to warrant it. Let's keep moving and shaking to this one that I'm probably just going to touch upon because it's a war game, but it reminded me of Barnes and Nobles, probably by design. Barnburners and Noblemen, a tactical tabletop war game of deep strategy, diplomatic scheming, and chance. Over 15 years in the making. So this isn't as war gamey as I expected. It's just that each unique standee has its own. You start by drafting your team, play with 2 character cards at once, and the rest go into your reinforcements. Move your champions, all running towards the inner circle. Use attack and range to attempt to damage your opponents. Use the back card specials of each champion. Back card special. Is that similar to a back alley special? Because I'm familiar with those. Instead of attacking, you can get money to get extra cards, kill everybody. So you're taking other people out. You'll have a number of different combinations. 4 teams of 9 characters. Feels like it would be too long. This is a stupid chart, but congratulations. All right, so the master set, $75, 103 Canadian. Pre-production rulebook. 1 movement phase, 1 action phase for all of your characters in play. And the actions are attacking, roll for coin, or use the back cards. We're playing certain diplomacy cards, sure. Some attacks can be done with the 6 or 8-sided dice. Automatic damage can't be defended. Characters start with at least 1 life point. Sure, yeah, as long as the characters don't have that high value. There are locations on the map which provide buffs. Sure. Diplomacy cards are purchased from the randomized deck by paying 3 coins, so they're extra powerful cards. Yeah, seems fun enough. It seems very simple. Definitely seems fun. It's not something I want to pay $100 for, unfortunately. It's $75, and then shipping to the US 12 to 16. That's pretty good. And 16 to 24 also feels reasonable. Yeah, I'm quite intrigued by this. I think this sort of embodies the idea of. I'm very surprised that I'm taking to this because I was going to be put off by the tactical tabletop war game moniker. I thought, oh, it's going to be another war game. It's not going to be something I'm interested in. I'm just going to cover it briefly. But I actually, read chunks of the rulebook as well and think this could be interesting. My worry is that it would get too repetitive. My worry is that when you're spawning your reinforcements, you're going through the same motion of creeping up once more. But I think this sort of embodies the idea of a homemade product, of 2 people who are like, yeah, we really want to create this game. It feels very homemade. And in that, it doesn't feel like exciting, let's say, or streamlined as something from a large publisher, but I think that's part of its charm. I don't think it's going to mean to me that I'm going to get it or be really interested in it at all. But I can see the passion behind it. And I think it looks very charming, is again the word that I will use. So that finishes Thursday, July 31st at 12:59 p.m. Let's move along to this one. Teetotum Game Studios. What have they done? What have you done before? Oh, Age of Rome. Okay, maybe that's what I was remembering. And then a bunch of other just very small roll and writes. All right. Summer in Greece is full of beach, fun, and food experiences. Do you want to live it? Take a 3-day vacation to a Greek island and have the time of your life. Only 3 days? Oof. I want to stay in an endless summer like Wet Side Story. I just watched this movie, Teen Beach Movie, last night. And let me tell you, it's of the vein of like High School Musical, but better. It's fantastic. There are these two teens, naturally, who are going to be separated by the whims of their parents, who then get sucked into a portal into the movie Wet Side Story, which is West Side Story, but with surfers and bikers, except it's more Grease. It's definitely more Grease, but that doesn't matter. It's a bop. It's a bop. This Ross Lynch is one of the most charming people I've ever seen. Yeah, no notes. There's no right being as good as it is. It reminds me of a Shakespeare by the Sea show. Oh, it's so stupid. Okay, let's look at this vacation to the Greek islands. What are you doing here? It's just 3 maps. It's a quick little roll and write. Let's check it out. Print and play roll and write. Plan your perfect island hopping, baby. You have 3 days to get off the island. Well, there's lots of beach sounds there. Not a lot of rules sounds. At the start of each round, players plan their routes simultaneously. They can continue with their previous route. One player rolls the dice, and then all players write down the results, then simultaneously use the dice to perform actions in the location they have visited. So you're choosing what locations you're going to visit first, and then you hope you roll the right dice. Okay. Instead of using dice for actions, players can take photos, turn points, or rest, turn more moves for the next route. You only have 3 days to plan your routes. You need to use your time wisely. Yeah, okay, fine. Where's the link to the rulebook? Tell me the rules. Okay, great. You could mark up to 7 adjacent points in a row. All right. You want to visit a bunch of beaches? Oh, and you can skip the next planning phase if you didn't get to visit a bunch of stuff. So you may want to just skip it. So you have to choose where you're using the dice at which location, if you're going to get enough points at that location, or do you move on to the next location? Yeah, that seems simple enough. A decent little game. €15. I guess it's €5 for each island. I think that feels overpriced for a lot of what these print-to-play games are doing. It doesn't blow me away that much. Like, I wouldn't want to spend $25 on this. I'd want to spend $25 on an actual physical board game. Probably why it's doing pretty low funding. But yeah, fine enough. I think the decision space will be slightly more involved than what it seems as well, which I always like to see. So if you're interested in that, the finish is on the 31st at 1 p.m. Let's move on to this one. Same, or Samé, if you're nasty. A game of sharks. Take a shark bite out of your opponent's hand in this original card game with hand-drawn watercolor art for 2 to 5 players. Yeah, I thought it was just an interesting deck of cards, but then I realized that it was actually maybe a game. So let's see. Oh, this is just going to be painting the card game. No, they're going to show us? Cool. Oh, it's Go Fish. Okay, there's a little something here. It's not going to be worth this $29 for me. Certainly not $40 Canadian plus shipping. The core mechanisms are it's Go Fish. On your turn, you can ask somebody if they have something, and they have to give it to you. But you can ask them whatever you want. You can say, give me all these 7 cards in your hand. And if they have all 7, you can get them, I think. And then you can play as many sets as you want in front of you. Just play a set in front of you. But when somebody gets the duplicate of your card, they are going to steal one of your cards from your set. You want to find out who has that card, I guess, before you do it. The game seems to also end when the draw deck runs out, which is the thing that actually makes me interested in this, because you can push the tempo of it. They say you can draw 2 cards and have everybody draw an additional card so that the deck is lower, so that the stuff that you've committed to will score you points sooner, I think, You can ask for any range, such as red 5s or lower. You always receive at most 1 card. Oh, boo. If they have a card matching your request and can't block, they must surrender it. Yeah. You always have a blocker card which can block requests. Say, I'm not giving you anything. I don't know. I mean, I'm sure it would be fine. I'm sure it would be a 5 out of 10, Shipping's calculated after the campaign. They're saying it's in the $4 to $20 range for everything, which I think is a disingenuous shipping thing. They're just like, it's $4 to $20. It's mostly going to be 20, but the fact that it can be 4 for somewhere feels really slimy. I'm not really into it. I think the gameplay seems very mid, and the art is nice. That finishes Thursday, July 31st at 7:59 p.m. Let's move on to this one, Star Realms Conquest. Surprising to see a Star Realms game with so few funding, honestly, because Star Realms is usually a pretty big hit. But we'll see. Conquest is a new standalone expansion for the incredibly popular, award-winning Star Realms digital deck-building game. Is this just a digital thing? All rewards of this campaign are digital only. Oh, into the Star Realms app. Boo! Due to current unstable tariff situation, the campaign is for just digital products. However, later on, we'll be doing a campaign for physical versions, and we'll give a free $15 physical promo pack for people who backed both campaigns. Okay, so you're just getting a promo pack if you back both campaigns. You've got to pay for it twice, once digitally and once physically. That seems like it sucks. I guess for $10 you can get 7 new sets in the app if you're playing the app, sure. But now I understand why this hasn't been doing well, because it's just for digital rewards. I guess it's not a bad price for digital rewards. You're paying a couple bucks for each deck, for each new set. But why would you, is my question. I don't really have a good answer to that, because there are many other things you can probably play digitally, or you'd be fine with just the base. I don't know, but enough people like Star Realms Digital to want to get these decks. I think it would have been great if they set up a way for you to get a discount on the physical product if you're backing the digital ones, but I understand that they're two different products. You don't get a discount on Gloomhaven if you get the Gloomhaven app, so that's fair. If you're interested, that finishes on the 31st, again at 11 p.m. All right, well, I appreciate that 60-second breakdown. This isn't funding. I don't see why it would. Honestly, unfortunately, it's Connect 4, but with 6 sides. I mean, I do like Connect 4. I'll unabashedly say it. I know Connect 4 is broken. I know that there is a way to win immediately, and there probably is a very easy way to win Festoon as well. I doubt this will be very complicated, and I bet I could win quite frequently. And it's just a little bit better than Tic-Tac-Toe. But you know what? I like Connect 4. I don't care. Sometimes you feel real clever getting that diagonal Connect 4, don't you? So Festoon is just Connect 4 that 6 people can play. If you want that, I don't know if it's still going to be funding, but I'll leave the link down below. That's August 1st. Okay, moving along to Deep Rock Galactic. I expected this to be to have raised more money. Oh, there we go. Now it's hit my expectations. There we go. I expected to have raised more money because I know it funded very quickly, and a lot of people were getting these as the expansions. I know that these expansions are incredibly expensive for what you get. I think that you're getting a horrible value, in fact, and you should just get the base game. The base game looked great. You know, I have some people who in my Discord who were talking about it who said that they enjoyed it. I have one person who's selling it right now, so can't enjoy it that much. People saying Deep Rock Galactic is surprisingly good. I've been enjoying Deep Rock Galactic, but apparently the rulebook is incredibly bad. So, number 7 on favorite dungeon crawl, become one of my favorite video games. Oh yeah, dungeon crawl on 3 lists. 21 points. So yeah, people enjoy Deep Rock Galactic, and I thought it looked good as well. There's going to be 3 new expansions in here, and again, if you are, yuck, like $121 for one single expansion that's adding what? Like 1 monster? But hey, at least you're getting a new Glyphid-themed dice bag. We know you love mining, and we know you love beer, and we know you love barrels. Rules? Flick the barrel into the hole. We're making a little mini game for you all. It's a hole, and you can flick barrels into it. Wow, what a stretch goal. Thanks, Mood Publishing. You get 4 new biomes, some new creatures, and a couple monsters, but you're paying $120 Canadian plus shipping for that. Like, it just seems nuts. I think if you're interested in getting this, you also shouldn't be getting it on this Kickstarter, because you're going to have to pay for shipping. You can probably go to your store and get the base game for much cheaper. These 68 people need to learn that this game actually exists, and you don't need to get everything on Kickstarter. There are stores, in fact, that will sell things to you. I know it is a wild concept that I often forget myself, but it's the truth. I just don't see the value being here whatsoever. And even this special bundle, I mean, it's not a bundle. You're not even getting a deal. It's 75. Oh, okay, you are getting a deal. You're getting 10 off. 10 euros off. No. Shipping to the US is like $14.5. So yeah, $140 for me. Well, actually, Canada is, $13 to $15. That's nice. But still, it's $140 to get 1 expansion. This also feels like, I don't know, these upgrade kits, people say like, oh, it's first edition versus second edition, but we've made you a better rule book now, and we've got some card edits for you. That's essentially, you didn't play test the game enough, or do enough blind play testing, and you made your backers do it. And then now you're charging your initial backers for the mistake of backing you first. Really is what that translates to. There hasn't been enough time in between these for first and second edition, other than, oh, we realized that some of our cards were broken and some of our cards were annoying and the rulebook was bad. You know, I hate when I see those sorts of things. I know Deep Rock Galactic only funded 3 years ago. You know what I mean? And so it only got into people's hands maybe 2 years ago. And so to have 2 years and then there'd be a second edition, which is great. But then you're forcing your backers to pay for the changes. I don't know. Would be nice just to send it out to all your backers, especially when you're charging €75 for every single friggin' expansion. Just feels like a big ripoff to me, but hey, if you want some more biomes, it'll give you some variability. Probably not worth it unless Deep Rock Galactic is your favorite game. That finishes Friday, August 1st at 10 a.m. It feels like it's a complainy sort of week. I haven't found anything to be actively excited about, but maybe this will change with Mafia Blitz, a quick 10-minute social deduction game set in the 1920s. The twist? You pick the role you want to play. Oh man, I'm going to pick the Tanner every time. That's a great idea. I really do appreciate a good Mafia game. A game of Mafia, in fact. There is a big game of Mafia being held over on the Discord of all the different variations of Chris trying to find the evil launch boom. And I love it so much. It's so funny. 2 launch booms have been found. Only one is remaining in hiding. And I hope that they die a horrible death in the Mafia game. The Mafia game. We got like a text-based Mafia that we play on Discord sometimes. And one of these days I will play it. Not until October. Draw 2 cards, pick one. I like that. I think that's great because there are so many people who, when you're playing Avalon or Resistance, who get on the bad team and don't want to bluff, right? And so you can make that part of your bluff. You can say like, nah, I didn't really want to play bad right now. I didn't want to play bad today. I just wanted to play good. I think that's a really smart idea to give people the choice. I can try to get the jabronis. I'll whack your jabronis. I think that's what they're trying to say. Yes. I want to be the mouthpiece. Anytime. I want to be the Tanner. This art is... Oh, and it's Toronto? Oh, this is interesting. This is from Mark Aradian, his board game critic and indie game designer with experience in both video and tabletop. Cool. Anyway, I see Mark Aradian selling lots and lots of games on Toronto Board Game Swap after, presumably, they've reviewed them. Quick rounds, no eliminations. You get to pick how you bluff. 10 to 15 minutes. No random roll. Draw 2, pick 1. No player elimination. No downtime. It's like One Night Werewolf, but it's One Night Mafia, is essentially what this is. $20 Canadian? That's great. Can I do local pickup? That's the question. If I don't have to pay shipping, I'm probably going to get this because there is a Tanner. I want to be the mouthpiece. Okay, choose one player to become the vigilante. Give the vigilante roll card along with a number of verdict cards equal to the number of goons in the game. Okay, and the roll deck is shuffled, then drafting begins, starting with the player left of the vigilante. The player draws the top 2 cards, chooses one to keep as their secret roll, places the other back on top of the deck. No reshuffling. I also like that because I've passed you the rat. I'm like, I'm not the rat. I gave him the rat. It's like, you didn't give me the rat. I guess it can then devolve into he said, they said, they said, they said. So there's a drunk element. You can swap cards with the center. During this discussion, the vigilante places verdict cards in front of the players they suspect are goons. Once all verdict cards are placed, the vigilante can finalize their decision by saying bang. Players with the verdict cards reveal themselves. They're now shot. If any goons are still alive, they reveal themselves and each take one shot at another player, aiming for the rat. All goons shoot at the same time without talking or planning aloud. All of the players reveal their role. Anyone who shot a civilian immediately loses and discards their card. Anyone who met their lose condition discards their card. Anyone who didn't meet their win condition discards their card. Whoever still has a card is the winner. I think this sounds great. I think this is just enough of a twist on standard social deduction games, on basically One Night Ultimate Werewolf. Oh no, Canada single comping shipping is 18, but why? You're in Toronto, right? I gotta look that up. Come on. Canada. Ugh. See, I don't want to pay $40 for this. I want to pay $20 for this. Mark, I'll pay you $20 for it. I don't know you, but maybe I'll send you a message on Facebook because we're in the same group. Or maybe did you start your own group buy? That's the question. All right, shipping, be $26 for 5 packs. It'd be $5 shipping. I could do $5 shipping. Or it'd be $7 each if it was 2-3 packs. That seems absurd to me. Okay. We'll contemplate. I think it looks great. I think this is going to be the clear pick for me. Really, really impressed by this. So happy I looked at it. I think you should look at it too. That finishes Friday, August 1st at 11 a.m. If you like One Night Werewolf, this is one to look up. But again, shipping is very expensive. But especially because it's $20 Canadian, right? So if you're in the US, this is very cheap. Great price, great concept. Love it. Exactly what Crowdfunding Countdown is all about. Okay, cool. Oh, that did put a pep in my step. I was hoping something would, and that did. Look, I do like games. I do like games. There's the proof. All right, next up we have Imperial Twing. Imperial Twink? No, that's something different. Imperial Twinge. Dragons and Languages. Imperial Twink is an exciting 2 to 4 player fantasy-themed strategic tactical card and dice game. Cast spells, recruit creatures, and battle your opponents for powerful magical objects on your way to victory. Unleash powerful dragons on your opponent using bribery or by recruiting dragon riders with the new Dragon's Demand expansion. Well, that guy only gave it a 1 and a 2. Not a very good score. Choose your character, draw 3 cards, play any creatures in front of you in your entourage. Grab your dice and let's go. Draw a card, take an action. Fight an opponent to win an ornacle. Steal an opponent's creature with a trap. Buy a magical object with ornacles. Duel someone for a magical object. Sacrifice 3 cats for a magical object. Draw 2 more cards. Perhaps you're lucky and draw a positive event. Most of the time you don't. So you're building up cards, hoping that they're the same color, and then playing them all and rolling your dice and hoping for the highest number to not get... Oh, you have to get 3 magical objects. And one of those can be the Bra of Destiny or the Socks of Certainty. So the theming doesn't matter. You have random characters. You're drawing random cards. You're building up to get an oracle to buy random magical objects and hope that nobody steals your magical objects when you get them through dueling you. Well, this seems awful. And we're moving on. That finishes on August 1st at 1 p.m. Great. Now, I realized, we only can live in bliss for a brief moment until we come crashing down to the ground. But I appreciate you being here, keeping me company while I slog through it. Here's some medieval puzzle tales, some escape rooms, essentially. Okay, it's solve puzzles in a D&D inspired world. They've released 13 tabletop escape rooms, cool. Solve escape room style enigmas and become a hero of medieval tale. You explore maps where you choose where to fly. Read or listen to D&D style quests. Okay, so nobody has to be the Dungeon Master. That was one of my questions. The Tale of the Silver Goat means a whole herd of rare silver goats vanished, and you have to find all the silver goats. Some of them are in the stars. You just have to find pictures of goats, I think, throughout. 50 years after the Golden Dragon. Or you can get the Golden Dragon in an all-paper format. It was originally released in 2021. Game has been their biggest hit. Cool. So $59 for each one of these things. That's a lot. But it's 59 Canadian. That's better. Oh, I love the Canadian dollar. Well, I don't, but I love what it is in the Canadian dollar. That's cheap for you. 110 Canadian is usually like 70 US, No, that's completely wrong. It's probably 77. Let's check. 80 US. I hate that. It seems like everybody's doing this weird estimated shipping. So Canada estimated shipping 15 to 22. I guess it's good that there's more specific estimates, but you just always have to assume the higher end, right? Even though I'm in Toronto and it's probably cheaper for me, still have to assume the higher end. These seem fine. These seem interesting. I think when you're looking for escape rooms, you want to look for things that have a good history. Scarlet Envelope says that they've released a bunch of them. I remember back with the Christmas postcards with puzzles. That's cool. Yeah, the premise here seems fun. It's always tough with escape rooms, right? You don't really know what you're going to get, the efficacy of the puzzles. Sometimes it's just fun to do puzzles. Sometimes it's fun to just go on a little scavenger hunt and spend some time interacting with tactile experiences. So if you're interested, that finishes Friday, August 1st at 8 p.m. Not a bad shout, I don't think. Okay, let's move on to this one. I'm sure this will be quick. Dragon's Hoard, $3 print-and-play solitaire board game featuring open tile laying. No restrictions on how tiles overlap each other. Okay, so it's like another thing like Grove, a 9-card solitaire card game. Don't make too much noise or the dragon will wake up. Well, yeah, obviously, you gotta be a sneaky treasure stealer. Choose a card, place it however you like, just anywhere. Then score, but beware of making too much noise. Is that noise? Oh no, those seem to be gold. Oh, that's noise? How do you make noise? I need one singular piece of information, and that's how to play the game. Oh, there's more, though. Okay. You're a master thief, and you have your eyes on another treasure. All right. What's that, a snake's hoard? No, a kraken's hoard. A kraken cove. I imagine you want to get the most treasure and not make a lot of noise, huh? Noise. If you have more than one of these fully uncovered, you lose the game. And your scores continue to be 0. Diamond. If your diamond's uncovered, you score 4 points. Glyphs have to be connected in order to score. Gem, you score points. Slime, you lose a point. Okay, that seems pretty easy. Yeah, sure, just a little placement, but you can place it wherever you want. So if you see noise, just cover it up. Done. You win the game. Hope you drew the right cards. Sure. I mean, it's $3. What do you want from it, right? $3, $5 Canadian for print and play. If that seems interesting to you, check it out. Placing cards wherever you want them, hopefully covering up the noise down the line, trying to find creative ways to cover up the noise to make sure that you score at all and the dragon doesn't wake up and eat you. That finishes Friday, August 1st at 9 p.m. Another print and play. I still like looking at print and plays because you see like tiny glimpses of mechanisms, right? They all add to our understanding a little bit. We have Starfront Scouting Academy, another $5 print and play. Play as planetary scouting students, advancing your cosmic exploration skills in this print and play area control game. Am I being funny enough this episode? Was I funny? Have I made you chuckle enough? I don't think I have. I think I've been very dry. But, you know, sometimes I say funny things and I immediately forget them. So I hope I've been funny enough. Hey, I told you about Teen Beach Movie. What more do you want from me? I can only do so much. Take on the role of a cadet. More like an idiot. I don't know. Were you doing something in my voice? I'm the Whisperer. No, I wasn't Whisperer, but we know you now have to appear in every episode, right? That's true. Gotcha, extra. Apparently the Whisperer has a vendetta, and I don't know why that could possibly be. Enroll today. Get it? Because it's a rolling, right? Did you get it? This is kind of interesting. You're fighting over this singular map. I like roll and writes that have direct conflict. Okay, cool. Yeah, I think this looks fine. Looks neat enough. You're going to roll the dice, or the dice will be rolled, however, and then you choose how to allocate the dice onto which terrain. You're going to circle that specific terrain, and you're going for different patterns of the terrain that you are completing. So you want to create different patterns, different matching patterns, kind of like sequence, if you think about the game sequence. And then when you're done, you re-roll and you set the dice for the next player. So I think that's kind of interesting that you get to set the dice for the next player. You can see what they're going for. You can make it a difficult choice for them. And I also like that as you unlock little circles, you unlock additional abilities that you can use on your turn as well. Seems fun. Lots of interaction. Very simple strategy for $5 if you like print and play games. Definitely seems interesting. That finishes Saturday, August 2nd at 12:59 a.m. One of the more interesting print and plays for $3 or $5 that I have seen. Okay, let's move on to this one. Buckanjar. I presume that stands for Buccaneer. Ahoy, pirates, and embark on an epic adventure with Buckanjar, a pirate strategy board game. Prepare to set sail on an unforgettable adventure in Buckanjar. Players take on the role of a pirate, merchant, or naval fleet, each with their own strengths, weaknesses, and goals. The seas are yours to explore, and the choices you make will shape your journey. Every game is different, making each playthrough a fresh, thrilling experience. Are you ready to be thrilled? I'm ready to be thrilled. Let's get thrilled together as we put down these tiles and flip them over and try to get some booty. Booty? It's really tough. It shows you can make a difference in a game. When games are elevating their artistic talent to such levels, and then you get something that's, very basic and simple, it really makes it feel homemade. And then when they're asking you to spend $90 on a homemade game, you kind of pause, or at least I do. I think a lot of people do. I like this though. I like the additional asymmetry. At least there's that. I like the flexibility in upgrades. That seems interesting. You can get plundered naturally in combat. It's because it's roll and move. That's why I was like, this kind of looks interesting. And then this roll and move, you have to roll the exact number of spaces. I think having a variable amount of spaces that you could move in a game isn't that bad. And then that's why modifiers exist, right? But then everything you pass over, you get stuff from. It must be that. Like if you had to roll and move, it must be just a range. Let's assume it is. Vying to be a sandbox style game. The final map tile is drawn. Each player has one chance to return to their home port. Only delivered wealth counts at the end of the game. Sure. I don't know. What is it telling us here? It's telling us it's a sandbox game. It's telling us that the actions you can do are buying treasure maps, going to get that treasure and going back, or attacking and plundering each other, or fishing and then trading. So it's really pick up, deliver. It's very light pick up and deliver, focused around upgrading your person. Shipping is going to be $20 to $26 for Canada. So again, like $110 for this rough sketch of a pick up and deliver game. I need to show their game being played more. They need to show like what the fun is. I'm not quite getting it. I think it would be a very basic pick up and deliver game. The upgrade slots seem nice, but that's just because asymmetry of characters is nice. Otherwise, there's nothing special here, and that's reflected in how many people have backed it. But if you're interested, that finishes on the 3rd at 4 p.m. We're going to keep on rolling with the Rollgeon Quest, a fantasy roll and write board game of dungeon delving, monster slaying. Let's take a quick peek at this one. You lead a party of 4 heroes into the shadowy depths of a forgotten dungeon. Kill people and get paid. You're going to have 4 hero cards. They all have a different exploration pattern. One player rolls 2 dice. Every player chooses one of them, chooses which 2 heroes will explore this turn, which exploration pattern you'll get to use. Oh, cool, and it gets smaller as you go through. I like that a lot. Exploration, you remove 1 space from the pattern and mark the first empty space beneath it. Then you draw the exploration and you get whatever it covers. Ah, I see. And so their exploration pattern gets smaller, but it's the type, the number of resources you can get is included. So you can only pick one type of resource. So they're picking potions, so they get potions. They're picking spiders, they get spiders. Basically, you want to pick the resource that's going to give you the most points. And then as you go through, once you hit 2, then you get 2 things. You get potions and ghosts. The famed poem by Robert Yeats. Who did Do Not Go Gently Into That Dark Night? It's a Welsh guy, right? Dylan Thomas. Yeah, Dylan Thomas's lesser known poem. Potions and Ghosts. It took way too long for me to figure out what that is. Yeah, I think this is cute. €3, a polyomino game, equal to that of Cartographers. Probably not. Maybe Cartographers is still a little bit better, but I don't really like Cartographers. That's why I want to put it on the same level. That finishes Sunday, August 3rd at 6:59 p.m. Moving along to another roll and write. A bird watching game for 1 to 6 players that plays in 10 to 30 minutes a player. You want to watch those birds. You just want to look at them. You roll 4 dice, pick one, applying the result to A, observe a bird. B, make a dawn observation. C, make preparation. If you complete a row or column, you earn a bonus ability or score. Now you've unlocked observing rare birds. Is that all you're going to tell me? Probably all they're going to tell me. Like, come on. Do you even care about people backing your game? Because this tells me you don't care about people backing your game. You haven't shown what everybody gets. You haven't shown what you can do. You haven't shown what these special observations are. Make a dawn observation. Who the hell knows what a dawn observation is? Like, come on. Okay, you can look 3 paths, so these are the paths, and I assume you get closer and closer and closer. Sure. You say you have a rule book. Just, like, get stuff. Care about, just, like, put any care into it at all in terms of telling us what it is. That makes me mad. It finishes August 4th at 8:35 a.m. We got 2 more. Yikes, McGikes. I don't have high hopes for either of these, but we're going to look at this. Singularity Hex, a sci-fi horror game where 4 characters work together to escape an ever-changing ship. All right, your goal is to collect 9 artifacts by defeating monsters, avoiding obstacles, using your character's special abilities, and of course, working together with your teammates, because if you die, they die. You're going to be exploring tiles. You're going to be flipping tiles up and exploring them in a game that is guaranteed to be better than the Night Cage. And look, there's a Void there too, for all you Void fans. I hope you tell me how to play. I kind of hate that revealing a card is an action. It just feels like a waste of time. Sure, it is definitely a better Night Cage. I don't quite see when you find one, put a yellow cube into your artifact scorecard. So when you reveal this thing, you get the reward. It's not a permanent cheesing bonus. Okay, that's good. That alleviates one of my worries. The basic premise of the game, you start out with all 4 characters in one spot. You can move and you can reveal as a move. I think that's just a ludicrous mechanical decision that just slows the game down, but sure. You're gonna have to reveal all the tiles. There's no world in which you reveal all the tiles. I guess it's just to slow things down so that you can run through other things more quickly. I think it's a bad idea. Then you'll have sanity and health for every one of your players. You don't want to die, and so you have to hope that whatever you reveal doesn't kill you in a Russian roulette style game, or you need to run until you can find a healing item. But are there permanent healing items? No. So you probably will just flip over cards and hope you don't die, or pass your turn. Neither of those seem that exciting, but these abilities do seem interesting at least. And as you wander through this random event, $47, £25, Absolutely not. This does not seem that good at all, and it seems incredibly overpriced, unfortunately. Just seems a bit boring. That finishes on the 4th at 4 p.m. And finally, we have this 1906 San Francisco, the second edition, new edition of one of our best rated games in the 1900 series, the 1906 San Francisco. Be a property developer for the rapid reconstruction of San Francisco during the 9 years after the large-scale destruction. This has barely crossed its goal. Maybe it just started? I don't know. After 6 years sold out, it's finally back. It's only €21. Okay, a lot of content in a small box. I'm interested. And then this is just Tom Vassel's review of it. This game seems delightful. Thanks, Tom Vassel. What did Tom Vassel give it as a rating? I'm imagining it's a seal of approval, or else they wouldn't have put it on there. Yeah, seal of approval from Dice Tower, sure. I think this looks quite nice. No, I want just one game. One game is 35 Canadian. Okay, and then shipping to Spain is 0. Nice. US, Canada, €10. So it's €25. Oh, so it's €31. Be about $50. Yeah. Okay. So here's the game. You're going to be going around this board. This is set up for a 4-player game. And every turn you will choose an action on one of these building places. You will then do that action. And then whoever's the closest to the right, whoever got the worst action, will get to choose first for the next one. You can get buildings that you can then build on here. You can get cards, which are like zoning permits to build on here. You can combo things to get additional cards. And that's essentially the game. It's very simple. Tom Vassel said, it says 45 minutes, but it actually plays in like an hour, 15, hour and a half. That might be a little overly long for what you would want from a very small box. The box is very tiny, but I think this flow seems great. It's just decisions of what do I want now versus what do I want later. And when do I build? And what am I setting myself up for as the turns progress? If I take this now, I want to go first next time. I want to see what's happening. I think it seems really slick. And I think for €21, that's quite nice. 35 Canadian seems great. Again, I don't like the shipping, but €10, you can't get much cheaper than that to ship somewhere. Get some extra little tokens in there. I think this game looks genuinely great, and thank goodness, because I needed a pick for you. So that's it. That is it for the week. Those are all the games that we're covering this week. Now, every week I do a pick for me and a pick for you. The pick for me being the thing that I find mechanically the most interesting, and the pick for you being the thing I think if you got, you would regret the least. And I think I've already highlighted those as we went through. But, let's refresh on what came before with a little crowdfunding grunt down. Yeah. No, please, God, no. Meh, absolutely not. I don't need it. Cute. Meh, no. That's fitting. Garbage bot. No. Yeah. No. Meh. No. Meh. No. And yeah. So I think it's pretty clear. I think it is pretty clear what we're going for. Mafia Blitz is absolutely my pick for me. That seems great. You know what I'm going to do right now? I'm going to friggin' comment on this. Yeah. I'm posting this. I'm going to say I'm interested. I want to see what adding more people will do. If we need to do it in a group of 5. I'm legitimately interested in this. I think it's going to be a great option for like a one-night werewolf. I think it looks really good. And yeah, absolutely my pick for me. So much so that I think I'm getting a copy. Like, I think the price is nice. I think the artwork is fun. I think the flow will be good. I think it'll be a great little one. I love the time that it'll take. Yeah, for sure, I'm in. And then the pick for you is absolutely 1906 San Francisco. I think that flow of the game looks great. I think you're going to be hit with a nice decision space. If you like that idea, if you like that King Domino style thing where if you get a better thing the round before, you're going to be getting a worse thing the round after. That's the decision space that's going to be put forward here consistently. So yeah, 1906, thank goodness we finished with that. Thank goodness we had 2 good things, because otherwise everything else was very, very underwhelming. So yeah, I appreciate you. I appreciate you all. Thank you for being here. Remember, if you want to purchase any attack ads, feel free. I haven't heard anything yet from BoardGameTables.com. Sorry, I'll play. But maybe, you know what? No, I don't. I think their ad would probably be, Chris, please stop saying BoardGameTables.com and stop showing the old All Play website. And I legitimately don't know if I could do that. I really don't think I could. I think they could pay me so much money, and I don't think I could give that joke up. It would probably, it would have to be an enormous amount. And they've already paid that for the website, so I don't know. But yeah, thanks everybody for watching. I appreciate you being here. I appreciate you hanging out with me. Episode 196 of Crowdfunding Countdown, counting up to number 200. That's wild. We've been doing this for about over 4 years now. That's 4 years of my life has been doing this, looking at campaign after campaign, and have seen a lot of really bad games, but my passion for gaming has still remained. So at least there's that. Or maybe I'm acting. But thanks for being here. My name is Chris George. I do not have a catchphrase because I need somebody to write it for me. But always remember, I hate board games. No, that's not what I meant.